This week on Mixed and Mastered, we're talking to Wardell Malloy, a legend in the publishing industry who's helped shape the careers of Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Anderson .Paak, A$AP Rocky, and Lucky Daye, among others. As a longtime executive at BMI, he's about discovering great songwriting and supporting the next generation. His other passion is fashion photography, which has landed him in British Vogue and Times Square. Let's get into it. This is Mixed and Mastered with Wardell Malloy. Welcome to Mixed and Mastered, the podcast where the stories of the music industry come to life. I'm Jeffrey Sledge, bringing you real conversations with the people who have shaped the sound of music. We're pulling back the curtain on what it takes to make it in the music business. These are the stories you won't hear anywhere else, told by the people who live them. This is Mixed and Mastered. Okay, Mixed and Mastered podcast with my homie, the one and only,
Hey.
Wody. I never call you that. I always call you Wardell, but Wody Malloy.
You know, it's all the same. Wody, Wardell, I answer the both. I'm good.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I am honored to be here with you.
I'm honored. You
the legendary Jeff Sledge.
Nah.
You have to say the legendary.
No, we're gonna get into your legendary. So let's start it off. You're from the Bronx, New York.
Yeah, from the Bronx, 1750 Sedgwick Avenue.
Are you from Sedgwick?
I'm from Sedgwick, the home of hip hop.
I dated a girl at 1520.
Okay.
In that building.
That's right up the block.
Yeah. I didn't realize. I never asked you what area you grew up in. I knew from the Bronx. I never knew what area.
Yeah, South Bronx, Sedgwick Avenue. So I grew up South Bronx, but I also spent a lot of my... Hello?
I am listening.
Okay. Something else happened with my screen. I spent a lot of my youth in Harlem, grew up baptized, Abyssinian Baptist Church.
Okay.
Yeah. And I spent a lot of time in Harlem growing up. So yes. So
tell me about growing up on Sedgwick Avenue. You said the home of hip hop.
Yeah. Growing up Sedgwick Avenue, you know, that's where I discovered my love for music, my love for fashion. My mom, growing up, she was a very stylish woman.
Mm-hmm.
Loved fashion. And she made sure I was dressed in all the finest things. And I was younger. So I remember like that and the countless albums my mother used to have. She used to have so many albums. Music was always playing in the house, and that's where I say I formed my love for music and fashion. I remember my mom, she loved Angie Bofield and Minnie Riperton and Phyllis Hyman and Patti and LaBelle and Luther Vandross and just all those, so many names. I have a little bit of an old soul. Like a lot of my favorite singers are not from my era.
Okay.
There's always this thing about 90s music, 90s R&B, which these R&B, such an amazing time. But to me, like that 70s R&B.
Yeah, that's another level.
Oh my gosh, like it's another level. Like, and what I love about that time is because everybody showed up to work. Everybody was exceptional. You had to be, So that is, I think, one of the biggest memories I have growing up on Sedgwick Avenue. Just the music, the constant music that was playing in the house.
Now, did you participate in the block parties and stuff around that time when hip hop was kind of blowing up, starting to blow up?
Yeah, So my grandmother had a big hand in raising me, and she was a bit of a worrier. So I was one of those kids that I literally had to be in the house by the time the lights came on, the street lights came on. I had to ride my bike in front of the building, and she'd be hanging out the window.
Don't go too far.
Don't go. I couldn't go down to 1600 to play with my
Yeah,
cousins up the block and stuff like that. I couldn't do that. Like it
yeah,
was
I
so.
got you. I got
I was a little bit sheltered in that
okay.
regard. Yeah, my grandmother definitely kept me sheltered.
That's cool. That's
So,
cool.
I mean, when I could sneak out to a
Yeah,
block party here and there, I would,
yeah,
but
yeah,
for the most
yeah.
part,
So, researching you, I saw that you went to Virginia State for a little bit.
I did go to Virginia
So, tell me,
State.
how was that?
You know, I wish that I had stuck it out, honestly, for the experience, but I didn't. Literally, I got there and the sharing of the bathroom, I was just like, oh yeah, that I can't do.
Man, man,
And I remember
man.
my grandmother. I'm definitely a grandma's baby, and I was very spoiled, and a little bit sheltered, a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, I called my grandmother. I was like, "Grandma, they making me share a bathroom,"
Yeah, man. Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh no, we got to get you
We
out
got
of
to get
there."
you out of there.
And I did one semester at Virginia State, and then I went upstate New York and had a proper apartment,
Proper.
my own
Ah,
bathroom, and all the
your
things.
own towels, you know?
But I do wish that I had stuck it out, though, honestly, because there's nothing like that experience, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember the semester that I was there, there was just some amazing things that I learned, some amazing people that I'm actually still friends with now.
Hmm.
I just couldn't get past sharing the bathroom.
I
You
always
know,
tell people
people are
when I went,
nasty. People
oh,
are
yeah,
really,
yeah, oh,
really
absolutely.
nasty. They got some nasty home habits.
Dude, when I went to Morgan State, right? That same thing, shared bathroom. I'm stunned too because I didn't know. But it's weird because it was crazy, right? But then okay, we had shared bathrooms and they had no doors on the stalls. So you would literally walk in, somebody may be taking a shit, and you'd be like, yo, what up, Joe? It
Yes.
was it was the crazy, but it actually in hindsight, it actually made our dorm floor very close because you can't front on nobody if they ask you for toilet paper because you can't,
Yeah.
everybody got to be, but anyway, it ain't about me.
It's not my thing though. It's not my. I'm
No,
a
it
little
wasn't my thing.
OCD. I'm
No, it wasn't
OCD,
my
so I
thing.
can't.
It was no option. It wasn't my thing. It was
Right,
not, you know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
so
right.
so so how did you end up at
So FIT, I was one of those people that went to a lot of different colleges,
okay,
just trying to
trying to
figure
figure it
out
out?
my way because I knew that what I was learning in school it didn't resonate with me. I knew that whatever they was teaching me wasn't going to be my path. I knew that I always knew I was a little different. I knew that I probably wasn't going to have a regular job, like a regular nine to
Like a
five
nine to
job.
five. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and so I always thought that I would end up in fashion though. Or although music was my life, but I thought that I wanted to be a stylist.
Okay.
And I realized very quickly that I had no desire to be a stylist when I started working at a Source magazine. So I went to Fashion Institute of Technology and I was a merchandising major. And at
Okay.
the same time, I was in class one day and one of my classmates said, "You dress really, really nice. You ever thought about styling?" And I said, "Actually, yeah, I actually have." And she said, "Well, I have a friend who works at Source magazine and she's looking for somebody. Would you be interested in meeting with her?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And then I ended up being hired at Source as a fashion assistant. And yeah, that was a great lesson. I wouldn't take it back, but I realized that styling is so much more than dressing people. Like, number one, it's hard labor. It's hard labor.
They carry a trunk of clothes around and
Listen, and then so you have to get the stuff, but then managing the stuff during the shoot is crazy. And then returning that stuff and then lugging it back and forth. It's just, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't for me. And, really not interested in what anybody else wears, truth be told. Like, so I was like, oh, you just like nice things. You just like fashion, but you're not really into just dressing people. So
yeah,
I got out of that really, really quickly. But my journey at Fashion Institute was great because it landed me at the Source magazine. Like I
yeah,
really contribute that to me being at the source. So it was able to, for me to experience that and check it off that bucket list. Okay, it's not for
Okay.
me, you
Yeah.
know.
So wait, before we get into I saw that you worked at the Scratch Academy. So you
No,
DJ?
no, no. So I went
Explain
to
that to me.
DJ school, the Scratch Academy. I went to DJ school. At this time, I was a music executive. I was at BMI maybe about 10 years at this point.
Oh, okay.
And
So later.
it was one of those, sometimes as a creative executive, sometimes it's not so creative, right? And so you're being a true creative person, because just because you are a creative exec doesn't make you a creative.
Absolutely.
That's another story.
That's
But when you're
absolutely the truth.
really creative, sometimes it can be a little challenging. So I decided, okay, like I wanted to like just get that love back for music. And so I went to DJ school, and it really reignited my love for music. It just allowed me to experience it in a different way that I had been experiencing it. So I love the experience of Scratch Academy. I got my certificate, I completed the course, and I was really good actually.
Do you
I
spend the
never,
time
you know
now?
what? So I actually purchased a DJ set, and it's in storage. And I'm debating, like, okay, is this something that you really want to do, or was it just something for that moment to just get those juices flowing again? I mean, the reality is, I don't want to. I don't want to spend at a club or anything like that. Now, I will spend at the opening of a Cartier store or
Yeah.
something like that. Something very chic and like that. But no, I haven't. Man, I haven't touched that stuff in years, man.
Yeah. All right.
Years, years. But it's still on my heart. I'm on the
Yeah.
YouTube looking at different, different DJs and how they're creating and how they're getting their art out there. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I may revisit that.
We mess around one day.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
You never know.
So tell me how you became an A&R executive for was it Universal your first gig?
Yeah, yeah. So
Tell me the path to that.
I I well I was working at the source, and that didn't it just didn't feel good to me. And I
Right.
left the source, and back then temp agencies were a big thing, remember?
Absolutely.
And I signed up with this temp agency, and I had some relationships at Universal. And I remember Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis, he was this guy. He did rock music actually,
Okay.
and really cool guy, but really erratic and very quirky. And he needed an assistant. So I went to his office. I said, "Hey Tom, I hear you looking for an assistant. You know." He's like, "You know how to do expenses?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't, but sure. And he said, yeah, he's like, "You're hired, you're hired." And he hired me right on the spot.
Wow. Wow.
And Tom Lewis, I worked with Tom really closely, Tom and Laudel and Donahauer. Worked closely with them. And then our good friend, Angelique Miles,
Okay.
came to Universal. And it was, Angelique came from Warner Chappell. She was a
Yes.
big deal over at Warner Chappell. And
Yes.
so now she's coming from publishing to records. And I remember Jocelyn Cooper said, "You have 2 weeks to make Angelique happy, or else you're fired." That's how it was. The music industry was
Wow.
real cold back in the day.
Ice
Human
cold.
resources won't let you do stuff like that no more. But
No.
back in the
No.
day,
It was not PC.
no. So of course, the pressure was on to make sure that I made Angelique happy within 2 weeks. Luckily, I did.
Okay.
And Angelique is, as you know, still one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Angelique taught me so
She's been on the
much.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's on the show.
Angelique taught me so much, not just about being a dope fly ass music executive, but a nice person while doing it. A nice person. Like Angelique spoke to everybody. She was nice to everybody. She didn't have a chip on her shoulder, and she could have. You know, I know a lot of executives that accomplished a lot less than her that had chips on their shoulder. So I always admired how people respected her and how she showed respect to other people. And I just learned so much from her, so much. I remember she was a stickler for grammar, and she taught me to pay attention to how you write. You know, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes, and so that's one of the things that has stuck with me. As now I'm a senior level exec. That's one of the things that because I'm into mentorship. That's what, because I think that the people in the people who came before me, your generation, you guys did a horrible job at mentorship. A horrible job at mentorship for the future executives. And so I want to give back in that way. Like that's really, really important to me, raising up new executives so that they know how to be, how to represent themselves, how to show up in this world, you know, because it's bigger than just signing talent.
Yes, my generation has been terrible with mentorship. We all got greedy and we all tried to keep it all for ourselves and didn't pass it on. And I think that's one of the reasons that the black music business is kind of in a weird situation now, because we didn't mentor. So the generations that came up under us, the ones that cut through anyway, don't have any, I don't know if reverence is the right word, but they don't really care because it's like, yo, you didn't really help me. So now I'm doing my thing and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm working with my crew, and you guys are now the old guys who didn't reach back. So
yeah, it's unfortunate, and so that's why for me, I make it a habit to mentor.
good.
Like even the junior executives in our department, I make sure to mentor them because it's important.
It is. It's very important. It's very important.
And it's something that I mean, I thank God that I had mentors, but I'm speaking as a whole. It's just something with that generation happened, and you can tell because not for nothing, you guys, even though you guys didn't mentor, you guys were quality execs though.
Yeah, we were quality execs.
Quality execs, and now I'm just not really sure what's happening.
And we'll be right back. Ready to launch your podcast? Merrick Studios offers comprehensive services, from concept development and seamless production to strategic marketing and monetization. Let your story take the mic. Visit merrickcreative.com/studios and let's get to work.
Master the art of lyricism with Pendulum Mink, the first school for rap. Learn elite techniques through immersive lessons, real-world exercises, and guidance from hip-hop icons. This is where MCs sharpen their skills and glow boldly on the mic. Ready to level up? Visit pendulummink.com and start your journey today.
And now, back to our show.
So wait, so who did you work with on the artist side when you were working with Angelique? What artists were you guys working with?
So, you know, Universal was so interesting back then. There were a lot of artists that Angelique wanted to sign at Universal. Universal was the start of that whole data research. And I remember while I was working there, that was something that Angelique and I both resented because we didn't want to sign people off of data. We wanted to sign people off of, you know, back then you go to a showcase, you see somebody you love, you're like, yo, I want to sign them, I want to nurture, I want to really groom that talent, I want to develop that talent. That's the exciting part about the job. The data thing, that was weird. So, you know, I remember we worked on like the cha-cha slide. And
Wow.
I remember FUBU had a deal there we worked on. Yeah, honestly, it was a bunch of names you probably wouldn't even remember.
No problem.
Or know of. It was interesting because you remember when you would call your friends at the other labels, like, and you do the CD trades and stuff like that? I would never have anything to give anybody. Universal, we didn't really have, at that time it was a different Universal. So, I mean, we had Cash Money. Thank God for Cash Money and Nelly, because that's all the product I had to give and send
Yeah.
to people.
The messenger over a big package.
Yeah, but Trey's. But that was a really challenging time, I will say, the Universal space. And I remember Laudalyn saying to me one day, she's like, A&R is good, but you love songs. Like, I don't care who it's by. If the song is great, I love the song. So she told me about publishing, and she's like, maybe you should look into publishing. And which is how I got introduced to BMI, because the BMI journey was only supposed to be a 2-year stint. I was just like, I'm just coming in to learn, publishing, and now 23 years later, I'm still there.
Yeah.
And that's been a great journey. But yeah, the Universal thing, I wouldn't trade it in. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But I do wish that I kind of wish that I was working for an Arista or something like that back in the day. I wish that a little hotter.
Yeah.
But
so tell me about the BMI
Universal's
journey.
doing his thing now. Monty done figured it out. Monty Lipman
murdering it now.
Yeah,
in all genres.
Yes, and Monty Lipman, he was such a big supporter of mine. I remember when Angelique left Universal to go to EMI, and I remember, back in the day, if your boss left, chances are you were out of there. And there was a meeting, and Monty Lipman said, we are not letting him go. We're going to create a job for him. And that's what Monty did. He gave me a promotion, A&R manager. He created that for me. And I got promoted, and that's when I met Vincent Herbert, and we were working. He had a girl group called Famil. We were working on that project. So I met Makiba Riddick. Makiba Riddick came. She's like, I got some songs that I'd like to sing. She didn't have anything recorded. Nothing recorded. She just wanted to sing her songs on the demos. And she did. And we were like, yo, let's go and work with Famil. And so that's how Vince and I became cool. And that's how me and Makiba formed our relationship, which I ended up signing her to BMI.
Okay.
When I got to BMI. But like about 6 months into the Famil project, I was told about the BMI position. And although I knew, I always wanted to be the best A&R guy. Like, that's what I wanted. Once I said, okay, this is what I want to do, I wanted to be like that A&R guy. But Universal, just that whole philosophy just didn't work for me, Okay. And so I went, interviewed at BMI. After 5 interviews, I mean, you would have thought that I was interviewing for a VP position.
Wow.
Many interviews as I went to, but had an interview with Charlie Feldman, who I love dearly, and Catherine Bruton, who is one of my best friends. After 5 interviews, I got hired, and that was 2002, October 28th, 2002.
Wow.
I'm still there.
You're still there.
Yeah.
So tell me some of the people you started off with, like on the artist side, and some of the people you signed over there, and just tell me about the gig, because I think I had Vivian Scott Chu on here, and who started at ASCAP, and I was telling her, like, I think a lot of people still don't really quite understand publishing.
No.
So
people working in publishing don't even understand publishing.
Because it's very complex.
It's very, very complex.
Yeah.
I work on the performance right side of it, and I've been very, very fortunate. BMI is one of those places where they didn't pigeonhole me into a certain genre. You're able to sign. I can sign country, I can sign rock, I can, my forte is R&B, hip hop, gospel, and pop. But, we're not confined to a genre. But what I enjoyed about BMI and my time here is that we are the last developers out there. Like, we develop. I love the art of discovery. Like, that's my favorite thing. Like, by the time an artist is big and people know about them, like I'm off to something else,
You
you
moved on.
know?
You moved on. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the art of discovery. And, you know, some of the people that I've signed, from Chris Brown, like I signed Chris Brown, he had nothing out. Nothing out. And Tina Davis called me. She's like, I got this guy. You're going to love him, yada, yada, yada. And now he's the Chris Brown, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing with Trey Songz, you know. Trey Songz, I love, love, love Trey Songz. He's somebody very, very dear to my heart. Signed him before anything happening, you know. Alex the Kid, Claude Kelly. Claude Kelly he wanted to quit the music industry. He's like, oh, I'm not getting any placements, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, just stick to
Yeah.
what you know, because you know, Jeff, feels like people come out of nowhere, but it doesn't happen like that. That's not how it happens. People are really beating the pavement for years and years. Makeba Riddick, man, I remember this girl was in, I felt like every studio I went to, she was there. Like
Wow.
she would be hopping from like 3 studios a night, just writing, beating the pavement. And, you know, now she's a Grammy Award winning, you know, songwriter who's written for so many people, you know? So I enjoy that, seeing that story. You know, the Lucky Days of the world. I signed Lucky Day. He was still D Brown at that time, you know?
Wow.
And now to see him, that's rewarding. D-Mile, I signed D-Mile back in 2012 or something, like long time ago. And I mean, he just started getting his flowers when maybe about 3 years
I
ago,
think
you know.
probably with the Silk Sonic albums, what really took it down
Yeah.
to the air quotes next level, and obviously then the Victoria Monet and more stuff he's done with Bruno and Anderson .Paak, but he started to really get his shine during Silk Sonic during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's been amazing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He's been amazing, but he had to beat the pavement. But he didn't come out. He didn't come from nowhere. He's been around, you know. So those are the stories I just love to see. I love to see, and I love being part of things from the beginning. St. John, another one.
Yeah.
You know, I signed St. John. I actually, I know there are a lot of stories out there, but yeah, I got St. John's first publishing deal. Okay,
Really?
like yes, I did. Yeah, you know, so those things are rewarding for me.
So now you worked with Janet Jackson as well?
So I've never worked with Janet Jackson. We honor Janet Jackson.
Okay.
So BMI, we do the R&B hip hop awards every year. So Janet Jackson was an icon one year. I'm not starstruck at all, but it's certain people when we honor Janet.
Yeah.
You know, that's Janet Demita Joe Jackson.
Yeah, one of the one name people.
You know what I'm saying? We honor Mariah. There's a picture of
one
me.
namer. You know,
There's a picture of me on RollingStones.com. Me actually giving her award, and she just looking at me in my eyes, and I'm like, wow, this is a moment because I love Mariah Carey.
Of course.
Mariah Carey. The biggest, of course, is for me when we honor Patti LaBelle. You know, that's my favorite.
That's really all time. That's when you're Mount
That's
Rushmore,
my lady right there, you know. So we've had some amazing moments. That is so rewarding to be able to honor your favorites who've impacted you. Like these people have impacted me as a child, you know. We also do the Trailblazers of Gospel Music, and I've got to celebrate again some of my childhood legends, the Clark sisters, you know. Twinkie Clark,
crazy.
Twinkie Clark, I have a card that she wrote where Twinkie Clark is thanking me for encouraging her.
This like, what are you talking about?
What? Yes, like you're Twinkie Clark. Like I'm always going to ride with you because she's the reason why these people are the reason why I hear the way that I hear. I can't sing, but I hear better than most singers. Yeah, I know when you're off.
Yeah,
I know when you're off.
Yeah, you know, you're flat.
You're not good.
You know,
You're not
hey,
good.
tell me, so tell me about a little bit about working with Catherine Bruton.
Catherine, that that's like we're like Batman and Robin. We're so similar but so different, which I think is what makes our relationship work. We both are loving gospel. I think that was what kind of brought us together, our love for gospel music. She's a PK. I've learned so much from her. Just we don't always agree, but what she taught me is that we could agree to disagree, and we don't have to fall out. You could disagree, and then go on and talk about something else. She and I will have some heated debates, and afterwards we'll realize, okay, we just won't agree on this, and then we'll find something else to laugh about, and then we just keep it moving. She has taught me a lot of maturity. She's made me mature a lot, and another one who has helped me understand that being a great executive is not just about who you sign. That's only a small part of it, but how you show up. She always tells me, I need you to be more forward facing. I'm one of those people that I like to stay in the back. Like, I don't really do podcasts and panels and do a whole bunch of talking. I'm not much of a talker. I just like to be creative. That's what I like to do. And so she pushes me. She pushes me not to be in my comfort zone. She pushes me because she sees something that, a lot of times we are who we are. So we don't see really the greatness that we hold. And so I'm so grateful for her because she pushes me. She doesn't, a lot of people, they will
get comfortable.
And a lot of people don't really like to see the people who come after them succeed. They're really trying to keep everything for themselves and make sure that their space is solidified. But she's not in competition with anybody.
Yeah.
But herself, I think.
I got you.
But yeah, she's not that girl. So I really, really enjoy working with her. She's extremely funny. People don't know she's very, very, very funny. So we clown a lot. So yeah, our relationship is amazing. I enjoy the dynamic.
So give me, I don't even really like this question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Give me like your, I don't know if typical, there's no typical, but give me a day to day. And like, I want you to kind of explain to the people like what BMI is and what you do.
BMI is a performance rights organization. So we pay royalties when your music is publicly performed. My job is to bring in talent, keep the market share nice and where it is. So we bring in talent, but we also nurture talent. We're kind of all things to our writers, and every writer has different needs, So we at BMI, Frances Preston, she was president when I first got to BMI, and then it was Del Bryant and now Mike O'Neill. Frances Preston, she really, really embedded in the culture of BMI that it is about the songwriter and the song first. And I will say that BMI has done an amazing job at keeping the songwriter first. So some days it's a lot of meetings because the level, the amount of people that we have to cater to, it's a lot, So a lot of meetings. Some of it is connecting the dots.
Okay.
Whether it's I need a manager, or can you get this song to such and such, or collaborations. A lot of people are looking to collaborate with different artists. It's also managing the staff that comes under you. So it's no typical day, honestly, which is what I do enjoy. Sometimes, though, it's a little stressful because I do like structure.
Yeah.
And it's not a structured job at all.
Yeah.
It's not. Your day on Monday is going to be different than Tuesday
Okay.
and Wednesday. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And on top of bringing talent, nurturing talent, building on relationships, we also do award shows. We have award shows in all of our departments, from
Yes.
R&B, hip hop, gospel, pop, Latin, and London. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. Country as well.
Mhm.
So our job is we have to create these events from the bottom up, like
Yeah.
event planners. So the job is not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. We wear a lot of different hats with this job, a lot of different hats.
Okay.
So
So
it keeps you on your toes, but
I'm sure.
it can be very, very stressful.
I'm sure. So tell me about this photography bug you've caught, and I don't know if you caught it, I know you had it before, but this your photography, I guess, journey, and you're really, really doing this now. It's not like I'm just playing around taking pictures of birds and shit. Like you're really like doing, fashion shoots and British Vogue, and like you really tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, well, number one, most people don't know I was a graphic design major in college.
Okay.
I draw. And it was something that my mom kind of pushed, like don't waste your talent, you draw, yada yada yada. So I was a graphic design major, but I knew, like I said, I was gonna work in either fashion or music. I just knew it. And so I kind of, once I got into music, I just went full force there and didn't look back. And I would say maybe like in 17, I was gifted a book. CJ got me a book about menswear illustration.
Okay.
I was like, why did he give me this book? But I started reading it, and then I started drawing again and really having fun with the drawing. And then a friend of mine, he's a producer and musical director, Joe Wilson. I was at his house one day and he said, I see your portraits. Have you ever thought about taking portraits with a camera and then drawing your portraits? And I was like, no, I never thought about that. And he said, well, I have a camera, I'm not using it because I just have another one. I just purchased another one. So I'll give it to you. And he gave it to me and taught me a few things. And then Day Howerton, who is a producer, but he was an aspiring producer. I didn't know he was a photographer at the time, though.
Okay.
He became my mentor, and he just taught me. Day Howerton and YouTube taught me everything I know. And ironically enough, though, it came full circle because I used to take photography classes as a graphic design major.
Oh, okay.
And back in the day, I would spend hours looking through images and fashion ads and stuff like that because I've always loved an image, a beautiful image. And so, yeah, I just started shooting, and now I've had book covers. I've had 3 billboards, 2
That's
in New
crazy.
York. I've had 2 billboards in New York.
Now, who were the billboards for?
One was for Bevy Smith's book. I shot the cover of her New York Times best-selling book. And that billboard was on 34th Street. And then the second one was Elijah Blake.
Okay.
He had a billboard in Times Square.
Okay.
And I didn't get to see the Bevy Smith one, but I did get to go visit the billboard in Times Square. Man, you talk about a surreal moment, man, to see your creation up in lights in your city.
Yeah.
In your city. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me dreams don't come true.
True. It's true.
You can't tell me dreams don't come true. I will say that my life looks, except for some personal stuff, career-wise, my life looks how I planned it. Like,
Manifested it.
yeah. It's so weird, but words really do have power. Your thoughts have power.
Yeah.
Bevy Smith always says that to me. She's part of the reason I give her so much credit for why I think the way I do now. Because a lot of times you got to deprogram yourself
You
from what
do.
you've learned as a kid.
You
Because
do.
a lot of times the stuff that your stuff and what you think you like and don't like, a lot of times that's your parents' stuff.
Absolutely.
That's your parents' stuff.
Yeah, it's not your stuff.
So it's not your stuff. And so I've spent years deprogramming a lot of what I've learned, and now trying to shift to the mindset that I want, what I want, how I see myself, how I see things going for myself. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I'm grateful for my photography journey. Because it's just allowing me to stay creative. It's just I like using my hands in that creative
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and so
Well,
now
you gotta take a picture of me one day.
listen, whenever you're ready. I'm now focusing on actually selling some of my prints. So I'm building
Good.
out my online store so I can sell some of my prints
Good.
and actually get my stuff printed so I can actually see it in my house.
Yeah, man.
Because
Yeah.
I don't really print my stuff. A lot of times, you just see it, you send it to the person digitally, and that's it. But there's something about actually feeling it.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So what's next?
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? That's a loaded question. There's so
I
much that I
mean,
want to do, Jeff, man. There's so much.
uh,
Of course, I want to continue to flourish in the music game
of course.
and continue to grow and be the best executive that I can be and continue my art of discovery. As far as photography, like you said, I did make a British Vogue. I actually was in Vogue
That's
twice.
incredible.
I was in Vogue twice, actually.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. So more of that, like fashion. I want to do fashion spreads and all those things. And people have talked to me about actually like some kind of fashion and I love fashion. I don't know. I just have to figure out what that is, what that looks like for me. Maybe I design. I do have an idea about using my photography in some way with fashion. And there's a series of coffee table books that I want to do to really help the Black community heal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And I
right.
want to do
Good.
that. I want to do that with pictures.
Okay.
And
Okay.
create conversations because that's how we heal when we have
We talk.
conversation. Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah, and
No.
don't be afraid of the difficult conversations because that's when the breakthrough happens on the difficult conversations.
I agree
But
200%.
everybody, everybody's you don't want to talk to somebody who don't think like you or whatever. Then you're gonna be talking to the same. It's
Yeah.
no learning. It's no
It's an echo
learning.
chamber. It becomes
Nobody's.
an echo chamber.
That's it. That's it. So, those coffee table books, they've been on my heart for quite some time. So I
Okay.
really want to figure out how that works.
Okay.
I need about 4 more of me. About 4 more.
So tell me one, and you don't have to mention no names. You're gonna incriminate nobody. Give me one. I say crazy, but I don't like the word crazy. Give me one spicy story in the music business. Something you've seen. A crazy story about signing somebody. Well, first of all, tell me before that. Even tell me somebody you wanted to sign that you weren't able to for whatever reason.
I'm so bad at these questions because now I can't think of one person. I can't think of one person. Somebody that I wanted to sign that I couldn't. I can't think of anybody that I wanted to sign that I didn't sign.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
that's fair.
when I first got to BMI, man, I was signing everybody, man. I was going crazy on them. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that I wanted to sign that I haven't.
Okay. Well, give me a spicy story.
Now I can't think of one story, good or bad. A spicy story.
All right, we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna let you think about it. We're gonna get back to it.
Yeah, spicy story.
Give me your you already told me your favorite artist, so we're gonna get that. Give me one or two of your favorite
So Patti LaBelle is my favorite female artist
all time.
of all time. All time.
Okay.
Luther Vandross would have to be my favorite male artist.
Great choices.
Luther Vandross, just remember the first time I heard him, his tone and the background singers, I was like, what? And I was in the back seat. My mom used to take me shopping every Saturday. We used to go to Short Hills Mall and Garden State Mall in Jersey.
On Jersey.
And
Yep.
I remember she went to Sam Goody and got Luther Vandross' Busybody.
Wow.
And when that first came on, I Wanted Your Love. And I was like, it was the background singers. I was young at this time, so I didn't know what I was listening for, but I knew it was just so pleasing to my ear.
Yeah.
It was so pleasing to my ear. And so I was obsessed with Luther since that very, very, very day. Very day. It's
That's
just,
dope.
he changed my game. And Patty, I saw Patty on a TV special at like 7 years old, and I'd never heard of her before. And I mean, you know, Patty used to be on 10. Like every time she performed, and so I was young, so I didn't know whether to be
off.
I was like, what's happening? I didn't know whether to be afraid or what, but I knew I was obsessed with her. I was obsessed with her from that time. I was just like, who is this? And how does she sing like this and cut up like this?
Yeah.
I just never seen anybody cut up like that. Like, it just, you know. My favorite writers.
Just give me one or two.
You know, a friend of mine, we were talking the other day, said, I just think Stevie Wonder, he might be the greatest of all time.
Okay.
He might be the greatest of all time. Yeah, he's absolute. Babyface. Listen, contrary to popular belief, R. Kelly. I mean, listen.
I argue, I argue about him all the time.
Listen, here's the deal.
I'm not condoning, what he's been
I'm not condoning anything.
But we not talking music? Come on, B. What we talking about?
Music wise, I mean, he's his pen game, his vocal game, And again, I ain't condoning nothing. So I don't want nobody saying nothing to me about it.
Separate thing.
It's separate thing. Although I do believe you can't separate the art from the artist. I do believe you cannot, but I can't take away what he's already done.
Yeah.
What he's already contributed musically. I can't erase that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite photographer.
Robert Mapplethorpe.
Okay.
And Gordon Parks.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Good choices.
They both, Gordon, what I loved about Gordon Parks is he touched on so many different types of photography. Right? Oh, Mariah Carey, definitely one of my favorite songwriters.
Okay.
Mariah Carey, definitely one of my favorite songwriters. Yes. What I like about Gordon Parks is that he did different types of photography. He wasn't just a portrait photographer or just a fashion photographer or just a documentary photographer. He did it all. And he did it all very, very well. And that's what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be pigeonholed into like just a portrait photographer. I want to shoot fashion. I want to shoot all things beautiful. I'm not into landscape and stuff like that. I'm into people. I like when people look at a photo that I shot and they're like, wow, I can't believe that's me. And I'm like, yeah, that's you. Because there's beauty in all of us. And I just like showing people the beauty in themselves. So that for sure. And Robert Mapplethorpe, he was just risque. And I like risque.
Yeah. He was very risque.
He was very risque. And I mean, he was risque when it wasn't even, I mean, now that kind of stuff is normal.
Cool,
we see it all the time, but it was not cool. He literally was a trendsetter and a trailblazer for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My last question before we wrap it up, and this is for you for hometown. Favorite place in the Bronx? Or, you know what? Harlem. I'll give you either area to choose from.
I'm so bad with these questions, Jeff. Favorite place.
And it could be anything. It could be a food spot. It could be a park. It could be your grandmother's, whatever.
So So I will say, I'm glad you said that. I would say my favorite place in the Bronx would be 1750 Sedgwick Avenue. Just
Okay.
whenever I ride past the building, because my grandmother was and still is my absolute favorite person in the world and my hero, you know. So yeah, it's something we on the first floor, 1P, and when I drive
Right.
past on the highway and I see it, I always get goosebumps because I remember her. You know, she'd sit on her terrace every day, and
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Watching the people, watching the
watching the
cars.
people, watching the people, yeah. And in Harlem, I would say, going back to my grandmother, there was this corner store. Like I said, I used to go to. I was a member of Abyssinian Baptist Church, and I got baptized there. And every Sunday, my grandmother would take me to the corner store, and we get peppermints and Luden's cherry cough drops.
My God,
And I would
dude.
need those two things in order to sit and be quiet in church. And I
Do they
would just
still make Ludens? Do they still make those?
I haven't seen them in years. But remember the cherry? I mean, it was good. It was
Absolutely.
like
That's
candy.
classic material. The cherry and the honey ones.
The honey ones. Yeah. It was
Jesus
candy.
Christ.
But I remember every Sunday she would get her, and then afterwards, after church, she get her daily newspaper.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily my favorite, but it's my most memorable
I
because
got
it's
you.
just my childhood
Yeah.
and
Yeah. And I got you. I got
my
you.
grandma.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's beautiful, man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Hope
Thank
you
you for
enjoyed
having
yourself.
me. Man, this is good. Like I
Thank
said, I
you.
normally say no to these things because I'm not much of a talker. But how could I say no to my good friend,
Come
the
on, man.
legendary
We got
Jeffrey
history,
Sledge?
man. We got
That's
history.
right. That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
You've seen me grow up.
You see me grow up. You see me grow up. Shit, you know? Yeah, but thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, man.
I appreciate you.
You can catch Mixed and Mastered on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. Hit that follow button, leave a review, and tell a friend. I'm your host, Jeffrey Sledge. Mixed and Mastered is produced and distributed by Merrick Studios.